New Jersey, July 2025. A slow-moving storm dumped heavy rain across the Northeast on Monday, causing flash floods that submerged New York City subway stations, flooded roads, and delayed or canceled hundreds of flights at several airports. For more than 24 hours, nearly 100 flash flood warnings were issued in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast regions. On Tuesday morning, officials in the city of Plainfield, New Jersey, announced that 2 people were killed after a vehicle was swept away during the storm's peak.
They're not going anywhere.
Monday's deaths followed a powerful storm that claimed the lives of 2 others in the city on July 3rd. Plainfield Mayor Adrian O. Mapp said, "The loss of 4 people in such a short time is unimaginable. We grieve with the victims' families, and we remain committed to doing everything we can to strengthen our emergency response system and protect our residents from future harm." More than 2 inches of rain fell in about an hour in New York City on Monday night. Dramatic video showed torrential rainwater crashing into several subway stations in Manhattan. Passengers shared videos from inside trains as they watched platforms submerged in water. As a result, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority suspended service on several lines. Above ground, Central Park recorded 2.64 inches of rain. Weather.com senior meteorologist John Erdman said it was the rainiest day since March 23, 2024, when the region received 3.66 inches. Erdman added that Monday's rainfall was also more than half the city's average monthly rainfall for July. Flash flooding closed roads in all 5 boroughs of the city, but the flooding also extended much farther afield. Westchester County, north of the city, was severely affected, with floodwaters reaching at least waist-deep in some areas. Several drivers had to be rescued from submerged vehicles. The village of Elmsford declared a state of emergency after Mayor Robert Williams said the heavy rains caused damage to roads, homes, and businesses. Airplanes were grounded and hundreds of flights were delayed or canceled at the region's 3 major airports: John F. Kennedy, Newark, and LaGuardia. Delays and cancellations continued into the early hours of Tuesday. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy declared a state of emergency after the northern part of the state received 4 to 6 inches of rain. Dozens of people in places like New Providence, Plainfield, and Scotch Plains had to be rescued as floodwaters trapped and swept away vehicles. The mayor of North Plainfield said people were rescued from at least 30 homes and took shelter at a community center overnight. In Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, the Mount Joy area declared a state of emergency, saying the area recorded more than 7 inches of rain in less than 5 hours. Some homes were reportedly under more than 5 feet of water. The fire department said emergency responders had conducted 16 water rescues. Today, the main threat of heavy rain is in Washington, D.C. and parts of Virginia. However, the threat of flooding returned to parts of the Northeast on Thursday. 2 people died in New Jersey after flash floods in the northeastern United States caused travel chaos, authorities said, as the region braced for further heavy rain. Governor Phil Murphy on Tuesday noted the deaths occurred in the northern New Jersey town of Plainfield, where 2 storm-related deaths occurred on July 3rd. A 3rd person died in North Plainfield during the previous storm. "We're not alone in this, but we're in one of those patterns of high humidity, high temperatures, and high storm intensity right now," Murphy told reporters after touring storm damage in Berkeley Heights. "Everyone needs to remain vigilant." The names of the 2 latest victims had not been released on Tuesday. Flood warnings in states including New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania began ending Tuesday morning as the heavy storm passed, but some areas remained inundated with floodwaters. A moisture-rich summer air mass across much of the eastern/central U.S. will continue to produce scattered to widespread thunderstorms that could produce heavy rain and flash flooding, the National Weather Service said. Video showed subway stations in New York City submerged in foul-smelling floodwaters. Buses and cars in New Jersey were also stranded by floodwaters, and State Governor Phil Murphy declared a state of emergency on Monday, warning residents to avoid unnecessary travel. Right now, residents are still strongly advised to avoid all travel unless fleeing flooded areas or under an evacuation order, said Carolyn Fortino, a county spokesperson. Emergency personnel also rescued people from flooded basements and conducted 16 water rescues after severe flash flooding in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The heavy rains resulted in more than 7 inches of rain falling in less than 5 hours, the fire department for the county's Mount Joy borough said in a social media post. The storms come amid a growing debate about U.S. disaster preparedness and predictive capacity following deadly flooding in Texas that killed at least 131 people earlier this month, including dozens of children at a summer camp. Critics argue that sweeping cuts to government agencies, including weather forecasting and meteorology services, will hamper the nation's ability to anticipate and respond to extreme weather events, which are becoming more frequent and severe due to climate change. At least 2 people died in New Jersey after flash floods swept away their vehicles as storms pounded the Northeast with heavy rain, authorities said Tuesday. Both deaths occurred in Plainfield, a town in northern New Jersey, when a fast-flowing river swept away their vehicles at the height of the storm, town officials said. Their names have not been released publicly.
Honestly, pray for these people.
In one of the flooded North Plainfield neighborhoods, a house caught fire and collapsed, possibly by an explosion, shortly after the family inside was evacuated, authorities said. No injuries were reported. These latest flash flood deaths follow 2 others that occurred in Plainfield during another severe storm on July 3rd. All of Plainfield is grieving this latest loss, said Mayor Adrian O'Mapp. To lose 4 residents in such a short time is unimaginable. We grieve with the families, and we remain committed to doing everything we can to strengthen our emergency response system and protect our residents from future harm. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy declared a state of emergency on Monday evening due to flash flooding and urged residents to stay off the roads.
This is going to be out of business for